practice one. So the one thing that I will tell you, like I said before, spirometry is not a fun test. It's a lot of effort dependency on the patient's part. If you show them, they'll hear it, they'll see it, they'll understand it better. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into an account like this, and I'll teach them spirometry, and then they go to a patient, okay, today we're gonna do spirometry. I need you to blow as hard, as fast, as long as you can, and they hand it to them. If I say that to everybody here, everybody's interpretation is different. If you show them, it'll go a lot quicker for you and for them. The next time they come in, they'll already have the hang of it. So if you've got an asthmatic, whoever you're treating, then it'll be easier. Now, right here, you've got perform forced vital capacity test. Hit this. Plug in the patient ID, whatever it is. Anything with an asterisk, you absolutely have got to fill out. Oops. It will not let you do a test if you don't have it filled out. Okay, so gender, you can see how it's got an asterisk. Male, female. Oops. Okay, now get to the next screen. You've got race. This is an important one. I don't know how young of a patient you're seeing. I don't know how old of a patient you're seeing. If you've got somebody of mixed race, you have to pick one. You cannot choose down here when I scroll. There's other. You can't choose other. Other was never studied as a predicted norm. So if I'm a 12-year-old boy, I come in, mom is African American, dad's Caucasian, or mom's Asian, whatever, you have to pick one. The next time they come in, you have to pick that same thing. If not, you're comparing apples and oranges. Same thing for me, when you look, Middle Eastern. I'm a Middle Eastern guy, right? So Middle Eastern is not on here. West side of Cleveland, I was doing this same presentation, same training, and Doc was Middle Eastern. I'm like, Doc, what do you want me to do? He said, Middle Eastern lung volumes mimic Asian lung volumes. So he had me pick Asian. He's always known Asian. I've always done Caucasian. That's what I know. I know my results. It's consistency. It's going back to that trend over time. So that's very important. Height. So I'll do 5'1". Okay. So now once we're here, we've got everything filled out. Now, being that spirometry is very subjective, what we've done is we've given you a little help. So we've turned it into a video game. So the harder the patient blows, the farther the water shoots, the longer they blow, the longer the water stays on the fire, fire goes out, okay? So, this is what it's gonna look like. Open up the mouthpiece, this goes on, same way it did before. Give it a twist. When they hold this, this is important. They hold it by the wing down here, okay? Just like this. Do not hold it like this. Do not hold it like this. This will give it an accurate reading all day long, and then you'll be, why are the readings so whacked out? Just like this. And again, nothing within 3 feet of the end of this, okay? So I'm gonna hit start test. You'll see the water flow from the hose. I'm gonna take a big deep breath, nice tight seal around here, and then blast all my air out. So it's gonna look and sound like it's untangled here. There we go. Okay, this is your coaching bar up here. So that's what you're gonna watch. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit accept. I'm going to start test 2. Now this is not a race, okay? But you also don't want to have the patient in here for 3 hours. So have them take a couple of deep breaths, get comfortable, then do the next one. So we're going to hit start test. Test 2. Now that whole time I'm blowing, even though it doesn't sound like any air is coming out, I do not stop blowing. That's your job. Yell, go, 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 keep going, keep going, keep going. You've got to be the cheerleader to get them to keep blowing. 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, the first time somebody does this spirometry test, they're going to do the initial blast and they're going to stop. They're going to go, they're going to stop. Once you're out of air, it's unnatural to keep trying to blow, but that's what you've got to do. So let's start pre-3.
Is that like a 5-second count?
This one, yeah. What happens is this machine, it actually senses the airflow over time. So once it comes to a plateau, then it kicks off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it says blast out harder. So notice some inconsistency. But what we've got here is ATS met. So when you see ATS met, we've got 3 tests within 8% of each other. So we're good. What you do is you hit accept, and then you could hit pre-test done. Okay. From here, this is the screen that comes out. You can print, and out come the results. Now what I'm going to do in this situation, I'm going to save this test to the machine. I'm going to show you guys something. So those are the results. I'm going to hit done. It's going to ask if I want to save the test. I'm going to hit yes. I'm going to save it to the local machine. Now it's saved. Now the reason I did that is if Heidi's testing me, what's your name?
Nicole.
Nicole. So you're testing me, I'm done. Now you're going to give me an inhaler. You're going to wait 10, 12 minutes. Nicole needs to go do an EKG on Anthony. She takes the machine. Now she's done with Anthony. She brings it back to you. You get ready to do my post-test. So now you did my pre-test here. Now you treated me with an inhaler. Now you're going to test to see how well that inhaler worked. So what we're going to do is actually I'm going to go into the settings. I'm going to change this here. Change the dandelion. Okay. So I'm going to go into continue save test. It's going to look. There I am. So I picked that test. Continue. Okay, now this is the important thing. It's where it says start post-test. If you have the choice of pre-test and post-test after an inhaler, always choose the post-test. If not, you're going to add trials to the pre-test and you can't post. So I'll do this one. And I'm going to do a bad one just to show you the difference. Okay.
Does it do it for a certain amount of time or just when you quit blowing on it?
Just when I stop. Well, what you don't want to tell it'll stop when I stop blowing.
Okay.
You don't want to tell the patient that.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't know if it only actually tested it for 10 seconds and...
No,
Okay.
You'll get,
Just
if you,
making sure.
yeah, you get a swimmer or marathon runner, somebody that's got really good lungs, they'll go and go and go and go and go.
Okay.
So, the one thing that I did want to show you on this screen is this is what we call a leading incentive. It's basically like if Anthony was going to do the test, he does the big blast. You can see there's 2 teeny tiny little, whatever these dandelion things hanging on there. That's Nicole's job to say, go, 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 you're almost there, almost there, almost there, you almost got them. So kind of like blowing out the candles on the birthday cake. That's one on here as well. You blow out all the candles, that one's flickering. Blow, 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 blow. So you got to get them to keep blowing. So I'm going to do this one again. I'll show you and then it'll make more sense. just over and down. So you can see that how my test down here, up here is my pre, down here is my post. You can see how these guys are pretty much garbage tests.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's in red is going to be bad. Okay, we're going to hit accept. Now, for sake of time, I'm just going to hit post test done.
Do you normally do 3 pre, 3 post?
Yep, it
Okay.
has to be 3 pre, 3 post for sure, to bill. Absolutely. And again, you're just looking at consistency. So on this machine though, on this printout, couple things. So when you look at this, let's kick this out of your way here. There we go. So when you look at this printout, you've got the patient's information up here. So all of this information was plugged into a predicted norm, which is right here. So N. Haynes 3, 1999 said this patient, their goal should be 294, 212, right down there in the predicted. Anything 80% and above is normal spirometry. This all changes, all these goals change depending on what I plug in here. If I were to change this to female or African American or Asian or whatever, all of these numbers change. That's why it's so important to have the correct patient demographics when you're doing this test. So down here as well, this is also something very important. See how this line comes straight up and then comes down? This is a good curve. Okay, what we're looking at on this is this peak should occur. See where it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4?
Mm-hmm.
Those are seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. So this peak should occur before 1, 1,000. That's going to be the FEV1 number. So you can see down here my post tests were garbage. The peak occurred way out here. That's a bad test. But that could be what that patient is capable of. As long as it's consistent, that's what we're looking at. You can see my post tests, not so consistent. My pre-tests, pretty consistent. You can see the 3 lines. 2 are almost on top of each other. 1 was a little low. So, make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when we come down here, we've got our best pre and our best post. This is the percent change. This is an important number. So after you guys gave me the medicine, my lungs got 11% worse, 7% worse, 12% worse, 5% better. So my medicine that you gave to help me is hurting me. Change my med. Okay? So that's a little bit about spirometry down there. The one thing, and I cannot stress this enough, you don't have to do it today, but whoever administers this test to a patient, make sure that when you do this test, you can get either an A or a B where it says quality grades. Here it says A and then D.
Mm-hmm.
So D is my post-test because I don't have anything consistent, but A is my pre-test. So I had very consistent tests. If you guys can't do spirometry successfully on your own, you're not going to be a good coach to somebody sitting here that's never done it before. So you have to practice with this thing. You guys have some extra mouthpieces there, so please play with it and get comfortable with it. You'll find it's not a pleasant test. Your head can hurt, you can get a headache, there's a lot of things. If you're doing it correctly, it's not fun. So, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't know if you guys have any other questions on it.
Now, when you save that in there, how long does that stay on there?
It
Until
will.
okay.
It'll say 40 tests total between EKG and Spiro. So if you know you're going to be doing a pre and a post, say you're going to do a pre and a post on me, and Anthony really needs the EKG, make sure you save it. If he walks out the door without you saving it, it's gone.
Okay.
You can't come back and add to it. It's not going to remember it. So you have to save it. Okay.
So if nothing else, we should save the pre-test.
Yes. Yep. And then eventually what's going to happen is it's going to say memory full. So then you have to start deleting. It'll do first in, first out. So number 1's gonna kick out, or number 41's gonna kick out number 1. Number 2's gonna kick out, yeah, or 42's gonna kick out 2. So. Good?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and like I said, you guys don't have to practice now, but practice with this thing before you go out and do it with the patient. This is very nice that you have. The fastest way to destroy these cables is to let them dangle, drop under the wheel. So yeah, just keep them draped like this, and you should be fine.
At the old urgent care I worked at, we didn't have this kind of machine. We had an old crappy machine that we did spirometries on.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, they saw a lot of patients who worked around chemicals, so they'd always come in for mask fittings, and so we would have to check their spirometry before we
Hey, how you doing?
put the mask
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well challenged, isn't it?